Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Angelo, and today I'm going to do an art video. I'm going to show you how to make an illustration so you can follow along at home. This is really simple. You just open up your notebook. We are going to draw an illustration of Donald Trump. He's the President of America, and I'm going to show you how to draw onto the illustration some of Trump's sort of inner qualities and make that a part of what you see. So you're bringing out some of the inner qualities. First of all, he has big hair. So let's get that hair going nice and big, all kind of pulled over to the side and going back and almost into a mullet, sort of. It actually, you know what? I guess you could say it is a mullet. It's just a small mullet. It's not a very big one. Get some of that hair going there. And this is going to just be drawn in pencil, so you get the outline of Donald Trump, 45th President, United States. Get that hair going back. Now already you can see the hair is kind of grotesque. That's in keeping with Trump, the way his hair is just horribly styled. It's a big part of his routine apparently in the morning to shower, do his hair, and then let it dry while he reads the newspaper. And he said he doesn't eat breakfast. He's not a big breakfast person. He gets up and just gets the news. So here you have that going back. It's kind of antisocial almost, this hair, so you can see it's kind of frayed on top. What I did here, I made it kind of crazy, almost like his crazy thoughts are pushing these hairs out of his head. So, okay, we're going to draw some big, crazy, sort of like silent film villain eyebrows. And that's to show sort of his anger and bullying temperament. He's the kind of guy who would tie a woman to railroad tracks in a silent film, that kind of villain. And let's get that nose in there. Just kind of weird, almost disturbed quality to his nose. And you know what, we're not just gonna have a plain expression on him. He's gotta be doing something kind of crazy. So I don't know, let's see how this goes. Like kind of furrow his eyebrows. Let's see how this goes. I don't know, not much for drawing eyes. But that's okay. You can laugh at yourself. That's fine. Yeah, there we go. So now all of a sudden the human face is coming through. You're wondering what the hell is going on in this guy's head. He is one big old weirdo. And his mouth, you notice his mouth, it purses up like this. That takes a lot of effort. I tried speaking like that, and it takes more effort than to just speak normally. So you know, it's like some kind of weird itches in his brain. It's almost like he's struggling to squeeze it out of his brain, like a parasite's in there crawling around. And imagine if you had literally like a bug crawling around on your head, but you had to ignore it, and it was itching and scratching you, or maybe some small animal like a squirrel. It was really bothering you. That's how Trump seems to speak, like anguished all the time, like he's burning up in his head. So let's make that lips pucker. And big old fucking neck. How do we, you know what? It's okay, that's why we got an eraser on here. Try that mouth again. More like a figure eight. Yeah, that's the Trump mouth everybody realizes. Now I drop lip and maybe shade it in. No, it's got to be more than that. Yeah. And get some shading in there for the almost like not just orange, but it really looks like razor burn all the time on his face. And now here's the key part. He'll get along with somebody up close, but even then he always kind of wants to bully them or act like he's more powerful than they are, and he'll say contradictory or conflicting things, or even in the greater context of what he said before, he'll say conflicting things. So he'll say, nobody respects women more than I do, and then he'll also say he's supporting Texas after they were hit by hurricanes. But then Puerto Rico, the mayor of Puerto Rico, a Hispanic woman, criticized Trump, and then he lashed out. He was very angry. He got angry when black people criticized or kneeled during the national anthem during NFL games. So he really doesn't like it when women or non-whites criticize him. That really chaps his lips. So he gets really flush, sort of almost steaming, like you see there's steam coming off him, like he's angry. He's burning up and the sweat is just evaporating off his head. And gonna have a thought bubble here. So get progressively bigger and bigger circles until we have up here, what's he gonna say? Do you think, what's Donald Trump gonna say when he thinks of the mayor of Puerto Rico, who's been demanding help there, says people are dying, and then Trump says they're doing a great job, only 16 people dead, and congratulations Puerto Rico. That's basically his attitude. We can go inside his head and basically extrapolate from his statements. So let's say he's thinking about the mayor of Puerto Rico, and he says to himself, what an ungrateful woman. I hate it when women, oops, I already said when. I got steam coming from my head. I hate it when women criticize me. And she's not white to boot. There we go. There's the thought bubble. You know, so what's going on inside Trump's head here? You know, he's flushed with anger, his lips are all pursed, and it emerging from his head, in addition to all the sweat from straining to get his words out and read a teleprompter, he says, what an ungrateful woman. I hate it when women criticize me, and she's not white to boot. And that's not something you might hear him say directly, but it's the pattern he indicates. So in other words, it's like if you're looking at the pattern of who he criticizes and how he criticizes them, he'll criticize white men for speaking against him or interfering with his agenda, but where he really gives his wrath is to non-whites. So that's like one check mark. Women. And we can include in non-whites and women people criticizing problems with civil rights, criticizing police conduct, speaking up for minorities, speaking up for immigrants, for foreigners, for women, Mexicans. He started his whole campaign saying they were rapists and criminals. And you see, one after another, all these ducks got lined up in a row here to support. Let's just put that like, it's like under his shoulders. It's in his heart here. And that's kind of where, we don't need to draw the whole body. That's kind of where all these thoughts circulate around in his body. And now you see how you can draw President Donald Trump. So try this out for yourself and get creative. Use your own expression. Maybe he's not standing where you are. Maybe he's actually reading from a teleprompter, or maybe he blurts out something, you know, or maybe he lies and then he goes back on what he says, like when he was asked about a day ago, how can you really say that no other president has called families of soldiers who were killed? And he said, well, that's what I was told. So he went back on it because he lied, and he was caught in that lie right then. And it's such an insane lie because many presidents have called family members of dead soldiers and spoken to them and even met them. And Trump then said, well, that's what I heard. And I think that's a policy that's different from others. And actually, I wrote to the family members of the dead soldiers, and the letters went out last night, or they're going out now if they haven't already gone out. So his supporters then can gather around that and say, well, you guys are just nitpicking, you're not being clear. Obama hated America and Trump really supports it. And anyways, this is how you arrive. This is the culmination of all that. And so it's like an ugly, messy process, but that's okay. That's what art is sometimes. So let me give you a nice close-up of that. That's Donald Trump. This is my portrait of him. Is that in focus? No, it's not in focus. Get in focus. Get in focus. There we go. Okay. So there's my portrait of Donald Trump. I hope you enjoyed. Now draw your own and send them to me. I'd be glad to share them. Thanks for watching. This is Angelo's Art Corner, and I'll see you soon.